Weekly Informant.
Welcome to Weekly Informant episode. I don't know what episode it's going to be. It might replace the previous one. It might be 27 or 28. I'm Stefan, and right now our special guest co-host is Zoja.
Hi.
She's replacing Sandra while she's out on maternity leave.
Indefinitely. Apparently we differ politically, which will make things a little interesting.
Yes.
Well, it might mean that you and I are more like-minded on most issues.
We shall see.
Boring. I agree. Do you agree? Yeah, great.
No, actually, I always like to go the opposite of what other people say, even if I don't really believe
it. Devil's advocate.
Yeah. Okay, so you do, a little about you, do aerobic pole dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you pronounce it? Or, I mean,
just pole dancing, but it, that comes with a lot of stigma. It's actually become more of an athletic sport, leaning towards possibly being in the Olympics soon. So,
see, when people think of pole dance, they just think of strip club and stripping on a pole. Like, give details of what.
Well, it's becoming much more organized and competitive than that now. I mean, it's an extremely high intensity upper body workout. So, that's drawing a lot of Russians who are and Chinese who are just extreme athletes. It's kind of replacing gymnastics, which went out with the 90s. This is the new gymnastics, and I have high hopes that it will be in the 2016 Olympics. Hopefully.
What got you into it?
So I used to have a radio show back in college called Lip Service, where we interviewed women from the community. And I interviewed the owner of Brass Ovaries, which is probably the biggest pole studio in Austin. They started about 7 years ago. She was just getting off the ground at that time. And I was just fascinated by her life story. She actually, the film G.I. Jane's loosely based on her biography. She was the first woman to complete special forces training. And I just found that so fascinating that she was military, but she'd also worked in the club for 10 plus years. Those things just don't seem to go together at all. And she's just such an interesting woman. And I started working for her, and I just, saw what the sport did for women. I mean, so many women would come to us with, just getting recently divorced, or they were overweight, or, just dealing with psychological issues. And this, was a really great therapy for them because, it gave them the sexiness and the confidence and the physical strength to overcome whatever they were dealing with. So it's a really unique community. It's not just about the club anymore. It's really becoming something else.
Yeah, and it is very, very popular here, I found out. 'Cause I know when y'all had the Valentine's Day show and y'all had your spring showcase. I tried going to both, and both of those sold out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we sell out shows, and those tickets were $30 a piece. So.
Are you a student, or do you teach it, or what?
Now I just kind of train at my house. Like, as you can see, I've got a pole in my room. But there's tons of different approaches. Like, some women do still stick with the strip club kind of, booty rolls and those sort of things. But there's also like a theatrical aspect to it. Some women dance bare feet, or they'll incorporate costumes, or, use classical music. I mean, there's a full range of ways to express yourself through pole dance. So.
Now, for newcomers, how long does it normally take until they can actually perform decently on it?
It really depends. It's really intimidating at first, and you get a lot of bruises. I mean, it's really rough on your body because it relies on friction. So you're literally hanging by your skin at some point. So you have to kind of develop this rough elephant skin, and you get blisters on your hands and stuff. So it's pretty intense. But we had a lot of male clients at Brass Ovaries too, and not just like gay men. Like, you know, we had some married couples that would come in. I mean, because men are very naturally, you know, they're physically made for that. And actually, pole dancing originated in India. It's called Malastamba. It's this competitive sport that only men participated in, where they, you know, you can Google it and stuff, and there's videos of them just like scurrying up the pole and doing all kinds of gymnastics, and then totally non-sexualized. That's where it originated before it hit the club. So,
well, that was a nice question. Do y'all get a lot of men signing up over there?
Yeah, I mean, I think men are kind of intimidated by the whole atmosphere because they don't want to appear gay. But I mean, everyone's a little intrigued. Like whenever I have guests over, you know, male or female, everyone wants to play on the pole.
I don't think this is a word about being gay. I think it's the whole get playful with it. Now match your mic.
Yeah. And you know, men just aren't naturally as graceful and elegant and flexible. So it, you know, that part is difficult for them. But they definitely have the upper body strength for it. But men just don't know how to point their toes. It drives me crazy.
So it required toe pointing. Okay, let's start off with this one that came out 2 days ago. Woman learns her... Okay, so a woman never knew her mother who gave her up as a child. And she's been searching for about 20-something years. And she met her husband also was given up as a child by his mother. And he was also been looking... Well, she finally found her mother, and it turns out her husband of 20 years who they have a child with is her long-lost brother from Brazil.
Yeah, that's a difficult one.
So, let's say your husband of many years turns out to be your brother. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, you've been having sex this long. You've even had a kid with the damn person. I mean...
But it's all in the family.
I don't know. Like, it reminds me of, like, when twins, like, how... I mean, I guess, like, Game of Thrones, like, Cersei and Jaime, it's like this, you know...
Yeah.
You just know each other so well. And I was having this discussion with my best friend the other day, actually. She was kind of, like, lamenting the fact that she thinks she's never going to settle down and get married, and all of her friends around her are, and, you know, the pressure's on, and she was like, you know, I'm just going to end up, like, marrying my brother. I mean... You know, we're already so close, and he knows me so well. I was like, dude. No! I mean, I don't have a brother, so I don't know what that's like. But I mean, I know that the thought of like your father is, you know, and sex in the same sentence are just, you know.
I gotta take the boots off. They're on my feet. All right.
But I don't know. I mean, it's almost like as traumatic as your husband telling you that he's gay one day. It's like, you know.
Okay.
No, or is that a whole other ball?
Yeah, I'm sure that's a whole other beast. Let's see.
But I'm sure you feel very conflicted, you know? You feel like you've been gypped this whole time.
Except if either of them knew, and then it's like that movie, the Fairley Brothers movie.
Yeah.
You're my sister. I'm going to jump back to the previous episode. Talked about FAFSA, Federal Student Financial Aid.
Mm-hmm.
On their official Twitter account, they tweeted the picture of her saying, "Help me, I'm poor," and then they wrote down, "If this is you, then you better fill out your FAFSA." No one really found that funny. Okay, so what you're saying is only poor people.
Ouch. At least she's white. Oh,
I was saying it's funny because whoever wrote that is now poor.
Yeah, they just lost their
Probably
job
not.
over it. Wow.
They probably didn't fire anybody over it, sadly.
God, people.
And jumping back over to talk about Facebook. It seems like almost every episode lately has been something about Facebook negative.
Well, it is
lately.
pervading every aspect of our lives. So.
Okay, you heard the other news where they have their newest Facebook app update where it listens to everything around you and it will like record like what music you're listening to, what TV show you're watching.
Well, I don't know. Like when I was looking over the
update.
terms of agreement, it's not saying that 24/7 it's like tapping into your phone. It's saying I think what it's saying is if the CIA, NSA needed to obtain, had a warrant, needed to obtain that kind of information via Facebook, then you're giving them permission to, right?
They were actually, like, that update was allowed them for advertisements. Like, they also have that little advertisement update on the actual website where it reads your cookies, and that's how it places those ads based on what you search for, and then you can opt out on most of them, but not all of them.
Okay. It's interesting.
That's why I was calling it Skynet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of scary. But I mean, what about the terms of agreement of the other hundreds of apps that you've downloaded? I mean, I feel like this is happening whether we like it or not.
Yeah, if you have an Apple computer, I mean, you've already sold your soul. So.
Yeah, this is to me. This is not surprising. This is not news. I mean, being part of a social network, you're automatically signing away your privacy, and I think we're living in a time where people need to get used to that. Like, I don't know. I grew up on the internet, and I've this is voyeurism. Like, I don't have any secrets to hide, and this doesn't worry me that somebody might be listening to my conversations or tapping into my camera phone. Like, have at it. Like, it's not going to be anything interesting. Like, I don't have anything to hide. So
who's doing this? Okay, what I can legally say.
My Facebook Messenger's going off right now as we speak.
Let's finish that. Facebook says everyone has to download their Messenger app or else. And the or else just means you won't receive your messages.
Oh. So you can't actually receive them through the regular app now?
You won't be able to receive them through the app at all. You won't be able to receive it like on your mobile devices unless you have the actual app.
Wow.
The only way you can use Messenger without the app is on the computer.
Wow. Okay.
They're taking over.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my boyfriend took the app off his phone, and I thought he was just like paranoid and smoking too much weed or something. I was like, "You're not turning libertarian on me, are you, Alex Jones?" But I guess a lot of people are concerned about this.
See, I never understood why Facebook grew to be as big as it was, because I remember I joined it like when they first, like that first year or two, it opened up. And I always preferred MySpace, and then eventually everyone switched from MySpace over. Actually, they went to Friendster, then MySpace, to Facebook, and then Facebook has stayed.
Well, I think because Facebook started, you had to have an official college email address, right? So it was very limited, and then they opened it up. I think it just had like a cleaner, more sleek appearance to it.
Google Plus couldn't get behind because Facebook is bad, but Google
just totally user unfriendly. Google Plus is awful.
Yeah,
which is weird because everything Google touches turns to gold normally, but I don't know. I just couldn't get it right.
A friend, like when they did that big iOS update, the Android update, where it automatically added all your photos to Google's version of the iPhoto, and all of his photos uploaded to his Google Plus, and you couldn't figure out how to delete them because some of them were personal photos of his girlfriend.
Oh my god!
So the only way you could figure out how to delete it was just completely delete the account.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the NSA passing around our nudies.
Part of the Eric Snowden reveal was the NSA. If you like, pretty much. Okay, no, I don't want to say that. If you've ever taken a nude photo and on your phone or had it on the internet at all, NSA most likely has it. And they just print them out and pass it around each other for fun. According to Snowden and another whistleblower, it's like, I guess that's what he took them for.
But this can't be a novelty to the NSA anymore. I mean,
British secret intelligence, or whatever their equivalent of the NSA is, were under fire for doing the same thing. Like, they would actually hack into everyone's web camera and just watch them. And they say just make sure they're not doing anything illegal, but they were known just randomly on slow day just hacking, and that's why a lot of people cover.
Yeah, I've met people that put tape on the webcam.
Yeah, I should probably say
which
that.
I thought was kind of extreme, but now I'm starting to wonder. But I don't know. I just don't have any don't really have an issue with people watching me in my daily life. Like, I don't know why, but that just, like, that doesn't faze me.
So you can hack hers, just leave mine alone. No, like...
I'm kind of an attention whore, I guess, so I kind of want the NSA to watch me.
They record everything you say. Well, see, there's been issues of...
I know, we've probably mentioned the word NSA so many times that we're, like, on their radar now.
I'm sure I've been on the radar for a long time.
Oh, really? Care to...
because we keep talking about...
Care to elaborate?
I keep saying stupid things, like, that probably wasn't smart to say on the phone. I bleed red, white, and blue.
I'm loving that, I had that radio show in college, and the FCC regulations are just so harsh. I mean, you can't say anything. Like, it's just incredible that podcasts can,
Yeah, that's why a lot of celebrities are switching over to podcasts and radio DJs, because they can get away with everything.
Anything goes. I mean, that's, like, people complain so much about, like, our privacy, or just, like, social media replacing, like, human communication and whatever. But I don't know. I think it's a brilliant tool for, like, quickly and efficiently spreading information amongst the masses to protect yourself against, organizations like the NSA. Like, I mean, this is how, protests are organized overnight and instantaneously through the spread of information. I think that's awesome. It's righteous.
Sextortion is on the rise. They're saying a lot of adults have been preying on kids through a lot of the little chat apps available on the tablets and their cell phones. And, like, a lot of grown men will pose as girls, same age as other girls, and get them to send them photos. Like, what?
So the grown men are posing as young girls to get young boys to send photos? Or the other way around?
Other way around. They're posing as young girls to get other girls to send them nude photos.
I see.
Like, how?
Okay.
Okay, so you're 16, 17-year-old. You meet some random girl who's probably the same age in a chat room, and she asks you to send a photo. You're not asked why?
I guess that's pretty standard now.
Is it?
Or I don't know, like, I didn't even know chat rooms were still a hit with
Yeah, they have like several apps released that are just dedicated chat rooms, bringing back that old school AOL or Yahoo chat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the jam growing up. Like when AOL first came out, like what you do, the internet is for hopping on there and meeting strangers. Like I remember being like 7 or 8 and posing as like 15 or 16 just so I didn't freak anyone else out. Like I would lie about my age all the time, my name and my location, and totally mislead people, like just to keep the conversation going. Like, I mean, I think it works both ways. Is what I'm saying. Like these girls are not. I don't know. I just question how innocent they really are. Like,
that's kind of weird. It's like, back in late 90s, early 2000s, which just be able to say that makes you feel really old.
Yeah. That was just yesterday, right?
You just be able to spend the whole day on the internet, just hopping in chat rooms. I always have something to do. Nowadays, I get on the internet, I can maybe stay entertained 5-10 minutes. Like, okay,
yeah.
it's kind of boring now.
Yeah. But that was a novelty back then, to be able to connect with strangers around the world. I mean, but now it's just assumed,
Now it's just dangerous.
Yeah.
Everyone's either trying to hack into your system, steal your ID, or there's another okay. What was it called? Sexploitation? Sextortion.
What does that even mean?
Sextortion, where they've actually been getting a lot of guys with it, where they have like a lot of foreign hackers pose as women, and they get on the webcam with them or exchange photos, and then they record their information, and then they extort them by threatening to send the stuff to their jobs or to post it on their Facebook accounts unless they send X amount of money to them.
No.
They're like, at that point, I think I called her when I know, like, oh, you're about to see a lot of me.
Yeah, right. More than you ever wanted to.
I'm about to become a porn star.
I work for the state. Like, they don't have time for that.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't work for the state. I work for a school district. So
right,
something like that. Like, yeah, that's my job.
Yeah. Did they drug test you? I didn't even get drug tested.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, drug tested twice.
And is your Facebook totally private?
No, I just don't post anything on Facebook.
Okay.
The only thing I was worried about was this show, and then it got to the point I don't give a crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it searchable by your full name?
No.
Okay.
I don't use my last name.
Okay.
Let me see.
Can we talk about the iPad fleshlight?
Yeah. Jump back and talk about. Okay, I was saying it's not. Talked about it last time, but it's no longer. Where did you see that at?
It was on episode 28, I think. You're gonna cut all this out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna chop some of it. Where did I put it?
That one.
Oh yeah, there it is. It's no longer safe to touch anyone's iPad, I put down, because the makers of Fleshlight have released a little add-on for the iPad for men. It attaches to the bottom of it. Trying to fill in time, but I really don't want to chop too much of this out.
So it looks like a USB port for your dick. Like it plugs directly into your iPod, so you can look down at your screen, which is probably playing porn while you fuck your fleshlight.
You see, I mess with people's iPads as part of my job. After I saw this article, I'm like, I'm wearing gloves from now on every time I even touch an iPad. Especially if someone's practicing the pull-out method.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's what I was always wondering about, the fleshlight, which is like, when I first heard about it, I was like, that's humiliating. Like, what kind of guy is going to use that? But, but it's a reverse dildo. Like, there's not stigma about women using vibrators, so why does the fleshlight seem so disgusting? But I guess it's because, like, I'm sorry, but I know how hard it is for men to, keep their rooms clean, let alone their fleshlights. Like, how often is that thing getting cleaned, really? Like,
see, that was another discussion where it was talking about, like,
how many years of jizz has been building up in there? Like,
where it's like, women's toys are more socially acceptable than men's toys, but there is no men equivalent to the dildos.
Yeah.
But, on the other way around, when talking about, the number of partners, it's more acceptable for men to have more partners than as women. So it's like, it's really weird.
Yeah, but that being said, I think women's sex toys are less stigmatized because when women masturbate, it's not like out of desperation or like not being able to get laid. It's like a novelty for a woman to take the time out of her busy day to fuck herself with a dildo, but like men masturbating is a given, so it's almost like,
you walk in a man's room, you see Kleenex all over the place.
Yeah.
It's
more of a chore than anything, but I think fleshlights are kind of rad. Like, it's the number one selling sex toy in the world, and like it I don't know if you've used one or if you're willing to admit that on the internet, but it's supposed to be very, very lifelike.
What is that? Yeah, my giant flashlight.
Yeah. So.
And I work for a school district, so I'm not admitting to anything like that ever. Okay, let's move on to OkCupid experiment. OkCupid, this is old. OkCupid did an experiment where they several people, they only gave them attractive looking matches just to see, like they for some they did only attractive matches, others they did only unattractive matches, but then said increase the compatibility to 100% to all of them, and they're just curious if like.
But you can't view their photos. Right?
No, you can view the photos.
Oh.
But the people who had like the chosen more attractive people had nothing in common and never went anywhere. But then the people who had the less attractive people but higher matches went further, only because they were saying people who like do it based off of looks aren't going to have the success that they're going for with OkCupid. It's like, it's pretty much a hot or not site.
Well, I don't know. Like, I think physical. Like I don't know if you've heard of the dating site Tinder.
Yeah.
It's like this really watered down, simplistic, like just
hot or not,
basically. And if you both say hot, and you can sit there all day, like you swipe right to say yes and left to say no. So you're just sitting there swiping, like, you know, you know when you're attracted to someone in an instant. You know, like, it seems kind of shallow, but like if you walk into a bar and scan the room, you're gonna know who you're into and who you're not. Based
bar
on
is a different situation because you got beer goggles on. That
true, but you know, it's essentially the same thing. And I think that instant physical chemistry is really important and is going to play into your relationship later. You know, sex is such a big part of your relationship. You better be physically attracted. The practical stuff's important too, but that comes later. I really think the passion is the most important part in the beginning.
That'd be interesting for an app called Beer Goggles, where you take everyone's photos and you manipulate it, and then let the person take a gamble.
But I think what this article was trying to say was that if you take away the the expectations, because it was a blind date thing, right?
Mm-hmm. They're saying you're better off going on blind dates.
You have no idea what to expect, rather than them disappointing what you had in mind.
Mm-hmm. But there are also a lot of crazies out there.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just feel like with a blind date, you're going to be disappointed no matter what.
Probably less disappointed, though.
Yeah. Pleasantly disappointed. Oh, God.
Cosmopolitan had an article.
Not a reputable source for women's opinions, by the way.
It totally is.
Written by squares.
I know. So we stopped pulling articles from there. But then this one popped up on that Jezebel site. 17 horrible sex myths no woman should subscribe to. Number 1, you have to have sex every night with your husband for a happy marriage. No. Number 2, you should come with ease every time you do it. I'm not a woman, so I don't know. I think that's when you say, yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of these, I mean, it sounds like she's trying to shatter some misconceptions women have about what men want, but actually, I think this is what men want. I think, yeah, your man wants to have sex with you every single day, and you're not obligated to, but...
Well, they're saying, like, in order for the relationships to be successful, is you have to do it every day. Otherwise, which...
I think that's true, though. Not every day, but regularly. Coming with ease every time you do it, definitely not. I think men get kind of disappointed. They think that, like, our orgasm is, like, the ultimate, but it's not necessarily every time. Like, it takes a lot for a woman to come, and, like, mentally and physically.
What you also got to think about is, like, people are ruined. Like, this is a generation that was built around porn, so everyone has their own ideas about both sides, both sexes, and they think everything that happens in the porn video is supposed to happen every time you have sex with a person. Yeah,
well, women never come in porn, so it's, you know, to be expected, but...
So which one you watch?
Yeah, unless it's, like, squirting, you know, it's, like, this excessive, like, you know, ejaculation, like...
And this one has been a conversation for several podcasts. Men won't want you unless you wax.
I've never waxed. I mean... If you have a vagina, like, they're happy. Like, I don't think guys are nitpicky about that kind of stuff.
That's what I've been saying.
They're just happy to...
Okay, this is not going to work because you're going to agree with me with everything.
They're just happy to have access to it, no matter what it looks like. Oh my god, number 4, periods are gross. I get so turned off when a guy's like, ew, blood, icky. I'm like, no, period sex is the best. Like... It eases your cramps. It helps you, you know, get everything out faster. This might be a little too much information. And any man who is afraid of, like, you know, the regular function of a woman's body is a pussy. Doesn't deserve to have sex with you.
Number 5, blowjobs are required.
Cosmo, you are such a square. Cosmo is the most square, like... cold, frigid bitch I ever met. I'm sorry, but any woman that doesn't enjoy giving a blowjob is doing it wrong.
You're going to meet every woman I date from now on.
Blowjobs are fun.
If you only do missionary, your sex life is boring.
True.
Number 7. Doesn't feel as good for him when you make him use a condom.
That is a bullshit excuse. Like, I'm sorry. But in 2014, like, come on, use a condom. If you don't know the person, you don't know what you're spreading around.
Well, that's why there's a big argument in California right now about them trying to pass a bill saying you have to use condoms or like
in pornography.
Yeah.
Like
with all the STDs going around, yeah.
Yeah, but the porn industry, like, they're up in arms about it. But I really wonder, though. I mean, you have to like get tested every 30 days, but in the porn industry, or just those.
Who knows? They go a one night stand the night before, and they come in and do that. And
a lot can happen.
It's already happened to you last year or the year before last, where there's like the big HIV outbreak again.
Yeah, no, definitely, it's scary.
Let's see, number 8. You're teased if you don't finish what you started.
Yeah, I gotta disagree with that one. Sometimes the sex is just bad and you want to get it over with. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And that works both ways for men and women, you know. You should be down to try anything once. I don't know, this is hard because I will try anything once. I mean,
but these are myths. So they said like a lot of women think you have to do all of these.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything, but sorry, ladies, like your man's gonna get really bored if you're not willing to experiment.
Number 10, STDs make you dirty.
No, everyone's had an STD at some point in their life,
and sometimes they don't even know it's an STD.
Yeah.
Number 11, if you don't come in unison, you're not in sync.
Oh my god.
If you can do it in unison, you deserve to videotape it and make a lot of money off of it.
Yeah, no, I've been with my boyfriend for like 8 months now, and I think we've come at the same time maybe once or twice. It's impossible to time that perfectly. You're but as long as someone gets off, it's an accomplishment.
Number 12, queefing is farting.
Queefing is so embarrassing, but it's like it's the guy's fault. Like he was there was some weird angle going on, and now there's all this air up there, and it's got to come out somehow.
Number 13, I didn't expect this to get as graphic as the beginning. Turn on if you're wet. This will be the last Cosmopolitan article read ever. Number 14, the longer it lasts, the better.
No, there is a time limit. I'd say 30 minutes max, and then you're done.
If you want to be able to walk the next day.
Yeah.
Number 15, if you like being dominated in bed, it means you're weak or submissive in real life.
Not true. In fact, I would argue it's the exact opposite.
Number 16, you should be grateful he's going down on you at all.
Oh, God.
And number 17, men love lingerie.
They do love lingerie. They just don't know how to get it off of you. They don't know how to undo your bra half the
I don't
time.
know. I think lingerie is more for her than him.
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything for you?
No. Not really, no.
You're like, just take it off. Whatever it is,
yeah,
take it off.
Like, it's something you wear for, 5 minutes and then bam.
True. I know.
Okay. Let me see what the time is. 27 minutes. Okay. I will go ahead and jump over to the gender Q&A.
Already?
Wait, it normally takes a while. Let me make sure there's nothing else. News-wise, did you already hear about the benefits of hugs?
No.
The health benefits of hugging. Benefits of hugging. Give you time to come up with a question.
Me?
Yeah.
Question?
I already...
For you?
Yeah, and I already have something in mind written down. Health benefits of hugging. Number 1, nurturing touch of a hug builds trust and sense of safety. Of course. Number 2, this is a recap of the last time. Number 2, hugs can instantly boost oxytocin levels, which heal feelings of loneliness, isolation, and anger. Number 3, holding a hug for extended time of life. Extended time. Okay. Reboot. Holding a hug for extended time lifts one's serotonin levels, elevating mood and creating happiness. Number 4, hugs strengthen the immune system. Because of the oxytocin, which is also released for mothers when they breastfeed as well. Number 5,
and when men breastfeed as well.
Yeah. It reminds me of South Park where Stewie's is feeding and then he looks up and sees Peter.
Oh no!
Number 5, hugging boosts self-esteem. Number 6, hugging relaxes muscles. Number 7, They balance out the nervous system. I'm going to speed through these. Number 8, teaches us how to give and receive. Number 9, so much like meditation and laughter.
All right, this is just getting cheesy.
Yeah. And number 10, the energy exchange between the people hugging is an investment in the relationship.
Yeah, I believe it. I love hugging. When I was living in the Netherlands, though, you know, in Europe they do the kiss thing when you're greeting somebody, and
here you get like a sexual assault charge filed against you.
I know it was really uncomfortable, like meeting my boyfriend at the time's like friends, like his guy friends would lean in to kiss me, and I was just like, whoa. Like Americans have a much more wider like bubble of personal space, but like. And he always thought it was strange that Americans hug each other when they, you know, greet and say goodbye. But I think that's a way more, like, I don't know, like, less germ involved, like, but still kind of intimate, you know, handshake or a hug. No kissing if I don't know you.
Okay, this is my first time trying to introduce this. Now it's time for the gender Q&A. Let me see what she normally says. Now it's time for the gender Q&A. This is where she'll ask a question she's had about men and get men's point of view, and I'll ask her a question about women and she'll give her a woman's point of view, and I'll ask first. That doesn't sound as good as when she does it, but you'll start doing it. Okay, here's a big one. Why do women wear thongs?
I'm wearing one right now because I'm wearing a skin-tight spandex dress and nobody wants to see my panty lines. So, you know, it makes for a, like, seamless look on that booty. And, yeah, at first it's a little weird, but you get used to it. Thongs are actually really comfortable. I don't know. I thought guys liked thongs. Is that not true?
I'm not serious. It's like, what was it? Back in mid-90s where all of a sudden thongs came into play. Like, they didn't, it's just out of the blue. And they started selling them to, like, what was it, Abercrombie and Fitch started marketing to, like, 12-year-olds. No, see, there should be an age limit on that.
No, I only wear thongs if I'm wearing something skin tight that day. That's exactly what they're for.
And then, okay, since you don't have a question yet.
Oh, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I just thought of this on the spot. I want to know if guys truly believe in the possibility of monogamy or if they just kind of go along with that for the sake of, you know, having a long-term partner that they can count on and whatnot. Because I don't know, I just think men and women have different needs. I feel like men might need more than just one partner for the rest of their lives, whereas women can be much more satisfied long term.
See, that
true or false?
That depends on the men. See, men do believe in monogamy, but then there's not every woman. I say that. There's a lot of women who feel once you're in the relationship or once you're married that they should not even look anywhere else, and that's where they don't have control over. But they do have control over, like, whether or not they, like, you know, there's always gonna be that lust for others, but
yeah, I don't think that works both ways.
Yeah. So, I mean, yes, men believe in monogamy.
So you don't think it's one-sided? Like...
No, it's not one-sided. In fact, I haven't seen cases where the men are more monogamous than their significant other.
True. See, this, like, the gender Q&A, like, thing, I think it sets up a problem because it separates the sexes when there's so much crossover, and it's so much about
that up before. It's like
so much about generalization. You know, it works both ways.
Okay, let me try one other one because we still have a lot of time left.
Okay.
Those are too simple.
We agree way too much on everything.
Yeah, like, okay, you're gonna make me actually work. Okay, you know how? Okay. Are women self-conscious about nipple size?
I don't know. I think I have really, like, a good size nipple. But if I had, like, those really long ones, I'd be a little uncomfortable. But I don't know. Like we were saying earlier, I think nipples are nipples, and a guy's not going to judge you for having really big ones.
Well, see, the thing is...
And there's something for everyone, you know. Somebody out there is going to fetishize your, you know, 2-inch nipples. You're talking about length, right? Not, like, width.
Period. Like width or length. Like, are they, like, you personally, are you self-conscious at all? Or
No.
Do you know any women that are self-conscious? You have some guys who are self-conscious about, their limb. We had talked about this, like whether or not women are self-conscious about. I said, let's not even limit there. Are they self-conscious about any of their bodily parts?
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Women are so self-conscious, but
not bodily. I don't mean chest. I mean like nipples, or like we talked about last time, their size of their clitoris and things like that.
Oh. Yeah. I was just reading an article about like labiaplasty. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like where women are self-conscious about the size of their labia minora. So this is like this craze. This is like this new cosmetic surgery that a lot of women are getting, I guess, because they've seen like women in porn have like really tight, trim, perfect pussies, but
and they also get anal bleached.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's sad. I think, I don't know where that pressure comes from. I know that there's a lot of pressure from the media and whatnot, but I don't think men are pressuring women about their bodies. I think men actually enjoy like a diverse range of body types. So
we've also talked before is like a lot of, like, not every time. I mean, there are some guys who are huge chest, like boobs men, but majority of the time women get like boob jobs is for themselves.
Yeah.
And like most men could care less if they're like A or triple E. Yeah.
I mean, of course they're going to have their like, ideal fantasy body type, but that doesn't mean that they don't want to have sex with you too. Like I've got plenty of friends with like cup A or cup B, and they want breast implants, and I'm like, dude, no, like I'm sorry, but boobs are boobs. Like they're fine. Don't mess with them. A lot of guys don't like the feel and look of fake tits. I mean, it's kind of over the top. So, but there's something for everyone. Like,
but pretty much it's like this question of, are women like more self-conscious with each other, like when you're like in a locker room, dressing room?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they compare themselves to each other, and that's the problem. I don't think the pressure's coming from men.
Go ahead.
All right, so I want to know if you prefer boxers or briefs, and why.
Boxer briefs.
Boxer briefs, best of both worlds. No, I think it says a lot about a guy, like what type of underwear he goes with.
Yeah. It's like once they love the invention of boxer briefs.
Yeah. I feel like it's a bra for your balls. Is that true?
Kinda, yeah. Because like when they wear boxers, like what's the point of wearing anything at all at that point?
Yeah, you're just wearing like swim trunks or something.
And then when we wear briefs, it just makes you look
like a little boy.
Yeah.
Or a little gay.
Yeah.
But boxer briefs are best of both worlds.
And then like when men go to the gym, work out, they have to wear either briefs or boxer briefs, or otherwise their testes can get tangled up and require surgery.
Oh god, that's horrifying.
I didn't know that was an actual thing until I met somebody who actually had that happen, and he was kind of young. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a good one. Circumcision. How do you feel about it? Male circumcision, that is.
That is funny because...
Or have you guys already talked about this? You've touched on all the good ones.
And I put my foot in my mouth with it. Okay.
I want to know
what
her opinion was, because we're supposed to be vastly different. So,
she said it didn't matter. I was saying, I don't know what women's opinion on that stuff. I was like, first of all, straight men, male penises that look freaking ugly as crap as is.
Yeah.
But they look worse uncircumcised. Like, I don't know why. This is where I put my foot in my mouth.
I don't know. I think sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I lost my virginity to a guy that was uncircumcised, and he was so insecure about it, like needlessly. He was making a huge deal about it, like he was considering getting surgery. I mean, I was like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. This is the first penis I've ever seen.
That's probably the worst choice of words, though.
What?
Not that big of a deal.
Why?
You're looking at his penis and you're saying it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, no, he was also one of the biggest guys I've ever seen. This was, a decade ago or more. So,
not that big of a deal.
Yeah, women don't care. I mean, well, that's not true. Some of my friends are like, ew, that's icky. And I'm like, really? Like, I feel like it's 50-50 down the middle. Like, I've had sex with quite a few guys, and a few of them have been circumcised, a few of them haven't. It doesn't matter to me. When it's hard, you can't really tell, and I don't want to see it if it's not hard. So,
well, because there was a news article that came up where like a lot of men were upset about not getting the choice and having their parents circumcised, and their suing their parents like, I think you're probably better off circumcised.
yeah, and I mean, and you lose a lot of sensitivity. Your orgasms aren't as strong. I mean, they're taking away like, half of a woman's clit practically. Like,
well, it's different for women.
I mean, it's the same tissues. It's like that very sensitive part of your body that's being removed against your will at infancy. I think that's kind of messed up.
Well, except you have some men that aren't as clean down there, and so if they're not as clean down there,
I think that's a myth though, because no,
it's not.
No. Well, guys being unclean might not be a myth, but I'm saying I don't think that that's justification for circumcision, because in most parts of the world they don't circumcise their babies, including Europe, and I've had sex with a lot of European guys, and they, were shocked to hear that American children are uncircumcised, because it's silly. It doesn't make any sense. You teach your kids how to clean themselves, and that's all there is to it.
Wait, you said they're shocked that Americans are uncircumcised, or that they're
are so commonly circumcised?
Okay, so most of the world is uncircumcised?
Yeah. No, this is a practice that happens mostly in the U.S., Australia, and then Israel.
Yeah. That's why she's getting on me about saying the comments I was making. What? It was nasty!
But, I remember my dad, I asked him one time, like, if I was born a boy, would you have circumcised me? And he said, yeah, of course. I wouldn't want you to be humiliated in the locker room. And I think that's horrible. Like,
I mean, if I had a son, I'd have him circumcised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, at this point, it's purely aesthetic, though. It really is. There's no evidence. I mean, yes, there are some cases where later in life you have to have a circumcision. It's really painful and traumatic, but it seems to work for the rest of the world. So at this point, I think it's just Americans are obsessed with this certain look, and it makes your penis look bigger and more stunning. I don't know.
With the uncircumcision?
No, the circumcised.
Oh, okay. I was like, the pig in the blanket?
But that's what it's supposed to look like. That's how you're born. That's,
I'm glad. I hope most of the listeners are women or circumcised men.
I don't know. I mean, it was a Jewish tradition. That's how it started. So I tend to think that it's just some silly religious practice, like, that caught on. Until
high school that I knew that was the thing.
Yeah. That there was even an option.
Yeah. That there was two different.
So you just look down at your penis and you're like, yep, I guess they hacked me apart when I was little.
Well, I mean, look at most porn stars are circumcised.
Yeah, but most porn's coming out of the States too.
Yeah. Well, not anymore, but
yeah. Well,
I think we have another maybe 5 years or so, and then it's gonna be completely illegal here.
Illegal? Really? You think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always wondered how they got around that, like how that loophole came about, because what's the difference between porn and prostitution? I guess it's because both parties are getting paid?
See, I think it's only legal to produce it in California, Nevada. I think that might be it in the United States. I do know it's legal to film in Texas, and found out it's illegal to sell sex toys in Texas.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that recently changed.
It did?
It changed in 2005. Up until then, you had to sign a waiver saying that whatever you're purchasing was going to be used for educational purposes, like sex ed or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, yeah. Be getting to know myself. Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, and like, same thing with sodomy. That was recently overturned within the last few years. Sodomy was illegal in Texas.
Well, they're saying they believe they should legalize prostitution in the United States, period, because I don't remember what state it was. There was a state that accidentally legalized it for a year or two because of the wording. And then once they caught it, well, because I think they said it was only illegal to purchase sex on the streets. So if you're in a building or in a room, it was completely legal. But they said during that 1-2 year period of time, the crime has been down. Crime has been low. STDs have been low. And then the economy went up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when I was in Amsterdam, I was an expat. I was desperately looking for work, and I ended up getting a job at the eroticreview.com, which is basically like the Yelp for prostitution. I was just doing like customer service, but 99% of our clientele was coming out of the U.S., where prostitution is illegal, but the headquarters for the website were based overseas to, I guess, evade the FBI. But this is extremely prevalent. I mean, just even like Wall Street, like white collar types are the ones that are purchasing these like high class escorts. It's just ridiculous that it's illegal. Like it's our politicians that are purchasing. So what's the big deal? Like, come on.
We can do it anyway. Why doesn't legalize?
Yeah, but I mean, man, we saw a whole range. There were like the Craigslist back page kind of girls operating at a Motel 6s, asking like $50, all the way up to like, these just stunningly gorgeous, wealthy women living in, Manhattan lofts, and, you can pay for 24 hours of her time, and you're going on dates and excursions, and, it's the full experience. And I mean, these women make insane amounts of money, and they're very, very picky about their clientele. So it's, we saw the whole range, but I think it's awesome. I think it makes the industry a lot safer because for both parties, because you can hop on there and read reviews about, not only the escort, but about the clients you're dealing with to make sure they're not going to, hurt you or...
Well, see, I never understood the point of making it legal because they get so much business. It's like, why would you not want to be able to
claim the taxes? Yeah,
and make some money off of something that people are already doing? Kind of like with the whole stupid argument of still whether or not to legalize marijuana. It's like people are doing it, and the states that legalize are making a lot more money off of it. It's like, why not? I'm sure you make more money off taxing that than you do arresting people and throwing them in jail because you only throw away those that are poor and don't have the money to begin with.
No, it makes no sense. But I mean, that's religious America for you. I mean, we want to pretend like it's not happening, but it is. So why not make it safe and legal and taxable?
Well, then a person that gets busted for that is a sex offender. So
yeah, exactly. And then you've ruined an innocent person's life. What they do in their free time is not your business. And I think that's weird that. I'm going to get political here, but that the Conservative Party doesn't, want the government up in their business until it comes to trivial issues like whether you smoke marijuana or fuck hookers in your free time. It's nobody's business.
I mean, even if you legalize them, there's still a large percentage of people who would never pay for it.
Yeah.
Because then they're like, that's sad. I mean, okay.
Yeah. Well. Wait, what'd she look like?
This is the part where I need to stop me from saying things that we hated.
Don't
I don't
incriminate yourself.
It's sad for you.
But that's what I mean about when I was talking earlier about, dildos versus fleshlights. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's something more sad about a man purchasing sex than a woman selling sex. I don't know why, but I have more respect for the woman.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Even though the stigma goes the other way.
It's really sad if you're at a point where you have to purchase it in order to get it. But then if the only
But any woman can sell sex. Like, that's not that impressive. But
I mean, some people have said some sexist things like, I'm not saying it's true. So don't hate me. Don't send me angry email. Or people say like, well, if you take a woman on a date, you're pretty much paying for it when you're paying.
Well, it's not guaranteed.
But the nights it does happen, like technically you did pay for it,
right? No, but with the when I worked at the Erotic Review, a lot of the high class the high class escorts will charge $2,000 a night, and these guys don't just want sex; they want the whole experience, the girlfriend experience.
$2,000 a night.
They want your conversation. They want the flirtation leading up to the sex.
$2,000?
Yeah, I mean they've got that money to throw around, so. But it's not purely sex. It's they want the emotional aspect of it too.
Yeah, $2 grand.
Get you a fleshlight instead.
$2 grand could probably buy you a lot of those. Yeah. Different sizes, different colors, whatever your thing. You want real life doll things.
What do you think about the Oculus technology and what that's going to mean for the porn industry? That's going to hurt it.
They actually, if they wanted to succeed and be the next big thing, they need it. They need to give it to the porn industry and make that the next evolution of porn, because.
But it would be virtual reality. Like I'm saying, like implying, like that you'd be able to have sex virtually.
Yeah.
With
porn stars.
Digital renderings of porn stars.
Where you have the guy point of view with the woman, or vice. Well, I guess it only worked for the men most.
Like, are you saying you'd be able to? So real sex would be happening somewhere, and you'd be able to tap into that guy's perspective.
I would say, no, you play a movie and you're playing. Well,
because then you wouldn't require any actors, and that would kill the porn industry.
That's true.
Unless those companies bought the technology, but the people are going to be out of work.
Well. They can probably model the characters after the people and still keep them employed. I mean, they'll need voice actors and actresses and...
True. Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Like, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. Like, when I watch porn, I sort of project... I always kind of look at the woman because I'm, more interested in how she's feeling or reacting to what's happening to her. And I kind of project myself into her role. But a lot of guys I've talked to don't necessarily, see themselves in the guy. They're just getting off on watching people have sex.
Right.
So that
just the girl. You don't even have to have the guy there. It can be a male robot.
Yeah. So that makes it interesting for the Oculus technology, projecting yourself into the scene versus being a voyeur.
But I think that would also cause issues, because they're already having some issues where if you have that on too long, more than 15, 30 minutes, you start getting headaches. And
oh, really?
Yeah, because they black out everything around you, so you're completely in the Oculus. And so if you have people are getting headaches, they're getting dizziness, they're getting very woozy when they get out of it. And so I'm wondering if say their hormones are, I don't know the words I'm looking for. If they're getting really excited by watching porn or something like that with it as it is right now, probably gonna have to be some health issues.
Yeah, no, I mean it's gonna take them a while to perfect that technology. It's pretty spotty right now, anyway, isn't it? I've seen samples of it, and it's kind of off and on, pixelated and whatnot. But
PlayStation's about to release their version of it next year, I believe.
Next year, wow.
I don't know if you've seen the PlayStation 4, the new design of the controllers and that little light they have on the tip of it. The reason the light was there is because it was made for PlayStation's version of the Oculus.
But is it something that you actually, is it vision wear that you put on your face?
Out, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they just announced that this past E3. It's the big, best kept secret.
I don't know how I feel about all that. It's scary. I mean... they were sort of trying to tout the educational benefits of it. You can be laying in bed, but you can transport, yourself to your classroom. And I'm like, no, I think there's more evil implications there.
I think we're advancing too quickly with technology.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I work for a school district, and it's at a point where, it wasn't that long ago that we were in public schools and middle school and high school and stuff. And, we used the overhead projectors, and you probably had a computer or two in your classroom, and then you probably once every blue moon went to the computer lab to do something. Now, they all have computers, they all have iPads and stuff, and if the projector blows a bulb, or a computer stops working, the class shuts down. They can't teach, and nothing happens.
And they're helpless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's there's a giant chalkboard behind you. Why can't you make use of that? That's how you learned, and that's how we learned. No,
that's the scary thing. It's getting so specialized that if the technology breaks, you don't know how to fix it yourself.
I think they're just teaching people how to use the newer stuff rather than teaching them the basics of
the fundamentals.
How to teach, which is
And then you're at the whim of whoever owns that technology at that point.
Yeah, and then corporations getting bigger.
Yeah. I hope the NSA is not listening.
What? Oh, they're listening. I'm sure they listen to every word I say. They're probably tapping my phone. Oh, crap. They're recording. I'm kidding.
Nothing to see here.
Nah, I'm sure if you ever said anything questionable on the internet or been to any kind of questionable website, even if it's like something really innocent, you're probably on their watch list. Because they have keywords that if you use.
Well, apparently their private messages are being read too. My friend said that she was kind of candidly talking about rape, I guess, over Facebook Messenger, and her message got flagged for being like potentially abusive.
Facebook Messenger?
Yeah.
Yeah, they record, like, even if you type anything inside of Facebook Messenger, whether you send it or not, the moment you type it in there,
It's saved forever.
Yeah, they have it saved.
Yeah, no, that's how it was when I worked at the Erotic Review. I mean, I was digging through people's private messages all the time. And that's where it comes down to the terms of agreement that nobody reads the fine print. I mean,
so they had a private messaging system on that Erotic Review?
Yeah. I was digging through private messages looking for, evidence, and I had access to everyone's credit card information, passwords, everything. And I was getting paid €10 an hour. I could sell that information easily.
What were they paying for? They were paying for just to use the Erotic Review, or they were paying for the people through?
Paying to access the reviews of the escorts.
And just know, you paid for that. The company has all your information. They can now extort you for money.
Yeah.
Would you like your wife?
And this is like a really high security office too. I had to be like fingerprinted to get in. But it's in Amsterdam, so
it's $1 trillion business.
Yeah. But there was, like when you create an account on the website, there's this whole, section about like, oh, these are just stories, like this is all in good fun. It's just fantasy, but it's real.
Yeah,
it was real.
That's weird because there's big sites like that around, and all that stuff's supposed to be illegal over here. And like the government knows about them. Like,
yeah, the government they're fucking hookers. I'm sorry, but that's the number one demographic for escorts. Like, like high-class businessmen that are on the go and their wives don't have sex with them anymore, like, are purchasing escorts.
I mean, men, when they go to Amsterdam, they only go for 2 reasons.
Yeah. Although, I will say, like, I don't know, because, I had these, like, visions of Amsterdam being this, like, perfect utopia where sex work was free and open and regulated, but I'm skeptical, like, now that I've lived there for a while, about just how regulated and safe it really is. I think there's still a lot of sex trafficking going on there. Mm-hmm. I think women are brought there against their wills, and they're still kind of pimped out, and they don't really charge much either. Like, I mean, I'm talking like stunning, model, gorgeous Eastern European women in these windows. Like, girl, get out of there and go, get you a modeling contract. What are you doing?
First question.
And they charge.
How long have you been doing this?
Yeah. And they charge €50 for a suck and a fuck, which, is until you come. And I just think that's so low. I don't know if that's because the market's just saturated over there or what, but I think women make a lot more money in the States because it's illegal.
Well, if they're attractive, at least.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything incriminating to that. No.
Where do you work again? No, I'm
That's the only reason I get quiet. Like, not saying that. Not saying that. And then I always say things that piss people off. They aren't exactly politically correct.
Oh, man.
And that is all.
So.
You're going to make me have to actually think things out. Things will stump you.
Can we get responses, like comments from people listening?
Yeah. If people will respond.
Like, can we ask them to present questions for next time or something?
Yeah, but barely. You probably get one every
really?
couple of episodes that actually respond.
Okay.
But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to submit it to nonsuckypodcast@gmail.com, and you can visit us at weeklyinformant.net. You can follow us on Facebook. You can do a search for Weekly Informant. You can follow on Twitter at NSPodcast. And be back next week with a new episode by Sunday night. Ta-ta.